Bowling Green. Hello, hello. How are you today? Okie dokie. Who's on here with me today? I see somebody sending some love. Where are you guys from? Tell me where you're from. Who's on? Okie doke. Can you speak? Share with me. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I see a lot of people. Pennsylvania, Alabama, New Jersey, Roswell, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas. Oh my goodness. Houston. Okay. All over the place. Wilmington, Oklahoma, Kansas, San Antonio, hi Orlando, Virginia, Georgia, Palm Desert, Maryland. Hi Connie and Kissimmee, Kentucky. Go Cats. Go Big Blue. Well, I've got a great lesson planned for you today, and I'm so excited. Indonesia. Are you kidding? Hi, Jen Bastion. How are you? I saw your baby bump. You look so cute in your little baby bump. Go Buckeyes. What? Are you kidding? From Texas. That's near to my heart. Ohio. Hi, Christina Gentry from Lebanon. Good to see you. And Nancy Powell, hi. Thanks for the love, you guys, and thanks for getting on. I'm going to give you a lesson today, and I know all of you won't be able to stay on the entire time because I'm going to make this worth your while. And that if you can't stay on, you can go back and get it. But thank you for the love because I want to see and I want to hear what is important to you of what I have to share today, because I think that what I'm getting ready to share is going to make a difference for you. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be on here today. How do I prioritize? How do I know how to prioritize? Have you ever wondered that? There's just so much coming at you. You know, how do I know what I want to put where? Well, that's what we're going to discuss. If you push up on the bottom part of your phone, and you want to share this with your friends on your Facebook or your Twitter, all you have to do is just hit that little share button, that little up button like we have on Voxer, and share it so that other people can know. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to dig in today with the lesson. And I hope that there's something in here that's going to make a difference for you today in the way that you're approaching your month. And I believe it is. Okay. 18 years ago, I dug in with the most intention I had ever given to designing my life, and I began to apply what I had learned in knowledge and experience and wisdom with tremendous accountability in my own life. 15 years ago, August 1st, I debuted as an independent national sales director with Mary Kay. That same year, I published the 90-day Design Your Life Planner, knowing that the only way I could broadly share both the philosophies and the tools that had supported my promotion was to organize it in a teachable and shareable format. Now, there are 6 principles that are core to my signature voice in Design Your Life. And today I want to cover 3 of those principles. The third one will be the primary content of this lesson. Okay, here's the first one. You can change anything in 90 days. Is there anything about your life that you would like to change in 90 days? Anything about your body, a relationship, or your business? Anybody? Is there anybody who would like to change something in 90 days? Well, the reality is you can change anything in 90 days. Here we go. August 12th to September 12th, first 30. To October 12th, next 30. Yes, I see you. Yes, yes, yes. You're on here, and yes, you do want to change something. Yes, tons. Okay, good. August 12th to September 12th, September 12th to October 12th, October 12th, November 12th will be 90 days. We'll just be on the front end of Thanksgiving. Now, you know and I know that if you don't make intentional changes between now and Thanksgiving, that it's going to be next spring before you hit this again. That's why I'm doing this lesson today. Are you willing to sit with me, to listen with me, to walk with me through this? Because I'm going to take you there, and it's going to be different this year. We're going to do it. So a lot of people start out well, but then the distractions that are normal to everyone, they start to compete for your time. Okay. Yes, I see you. I see you. You're with me. I am not going anywhere. Okay, good. Me neither. I'm going to sit here with you until I walk all the way through this, and you're going to leave changed today. I promise you, you're going to leave changed in this. So here's the reality. We start out well. We get excited. We dream big. We set the goal. But then there are distractions that are normal to everybody, and they start to compete for your time and your focus and your attention. So before the middle 30 days gets there, there's been a lost commitment to the original goal and time frame. Has that happened to anybody yet? Have you lost a little bit of hope about your original goal because you've been interrupted? And so what was a determined effort becomes a, well, we'll see. And a little bit of backing off of that goal, right? Okay, so we're not going to do that. I know I've been there with you. I know I have been there with you, and that's not going to happen. So here's the reality. 90 days. In 90 days, you can change your relationship. In 90 days, you can change your career. In 90 days, you can change your body. In 90 days, you can make some radical changes. I promise you, in just 90 days. So, let me ask you a question, and some of you can answer if you feel like typing it in. What would you like to see happen in 90 days? What's the number one thing come November 12th? What's the number one thing that you want to see happen? What will you feel great about if on November 12th you're saying this happened? What is your it between now and November 12th? Directorship. What else is it? Red jacket. On target Cadillac, directorship. I'm not seeing anything on here that I am not 1,000,000% confident you can have and own by November 12th. Will you be willing to follow it with me? What is it for you? Is it a career path title? Is it the use of a career car? Is it specific earnings? Anybody want to earn something specific? Is it a health or weight goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal? Is it a skill that you need to learn and master? Define what it is and when. And I see many of you know exactly what it is. You're putting it on here. And listen, if you are serious about this, I saw Rome. I see directorship. All of the above. Somebody said all of the above. $10,000 in 90 days. $15,000 earned. Okay. Those excite me for you. They make me want to push the love button. Ooh, it's not going to work. I was trying to give myself some love and I turned it all around. Okay, well, so what is it for you? Which 90 days? Let me tell you what I'm going to do with all the comments when the lesson's over. I'm going to watch it back and I'm going to read your comments, and I'm going to tell you right here and now, I will read every comment that you put on the screen while I'm speaking. And when I read it back the second time around, I will pray for your goal, and I will pray that what I'm giving you right now is something that you will receive and put into action, and that God will bless it and that He will multiply it. So if I can't read it now, I will read it when I get back. So whatever you write on here, I'm going to see it again. How about that? Okay, so define what it is that you want by November 12th, and then the what and the when. This is the beginning of breaking down a goal, which is the pathway to your increase and accomplishment. So what is it for you, and which 90 days? That's the first thing, you guys. That's number one. And then that's the reality of the 90-day principle. It gives you the opportunity to define the what and the when. The what starts today. And if you've already started July 1st or you already started August 1st, let's just count these next 90 days as of this conversation. And we're going to count 90 days forward, because some of you already have a lot of this under your belt, but some of you have lost that vision, that hope, and that belief. So the first principle is you can change anything in 90 days. Anything in 90 days. The second one is this. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. This was one of the strongest principles that I wrote in this material 18 years ago. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. And this is central to my Design Your Life message and central in the design book. Actually, it's the reason I created the 90-day planner, because if you have to write it down, it happened. I used to tell people you can't use the 90-day planner with pencil. You got to put ink in there because it counts. Today matters. It is here and then it is gone. When you write it down, it happened. You have to acknowledge where your time and energy is going. If you don't write it down, your schedule, your finances, your food intake, you might convince yourself that it didn't happen or that it's not gone. It's that momentary deceptive satisfaction, but it's not long-term success. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. In court, this is called confession. You confess it. When you confess something, it means that you're in agreement with what happened. With what really happened. You're admitting a truth. And when you confess or acknowledge something, there's going to be a change. Now, at best, you'll choose different behaviors to create a more desired result. Or if we're talking about court, somebody else might decide a change for you if you're confessing something bad. But let's keep it all voluntary and on the upside for right now. Once you confess or acknowledge, okay? Once you confess or acknowledge, the worst thing that could happen is that you can no longer pretend and get people to buy into your story. See, sometimes the stories we tell, they just make us feel better momentarily because they give us an excuse and they give us an out and they give us an alibi. They don't really make us feel better because they don't take us to where we want to go. So we've got to acknowledge the truth. In order for us to get a different result, we've got to acknowledge the way things are. So, what are you not confessing? What are you not acknowledging? A recent post I shared was that you're as sick as the secrets you keep. That's true on so many levels, but the sickest ones are the ones that you won't even acknowledge. So what do you need to acknowledge to yourself and perhaps one other trusted person in order to advance towards the design of your life? So you can change anything in 90 days. 2, you can't change what you won't acknowledge. See, we get so excited. I could do it in 90 days. I could do it in 90 days. Okay, but you're going to have to get to a place that is acknowledging why you haven't done it yet. And that's where I'm getting ready to take you. Because the third principle in Design Your Life is time invested in one area is time away from another. This is a simple truth, and there's no way around it. A yes to doing one thing in a minute or an hour is no to doing something else. So being on here with you today is me not doing something else at this 3 o'clock hour. But because it fits with my life purpose, which is to mentor and coach leaders who multiply and mentor other leaders. I want my words and my life experience to make a positive difference for you. I feel called to do this. So this time invested for me, it's a fit with my calling because it's in my sweet spot and it's in my vision and it's in my goal. So for me, this time is a fit. I'm not thinking right now about where I should be or where else I could be. I'm here. I'm here with you, 100% all in right now, right here with you. I'm not thinking, I wonder what time it is. I wonder how much longer this is going to take me. I'm all in right here with you right now. Wherever you are, be there. That's a freebie. Wherever you are, be there. Most of us are always in a place where we feel like we should be somewhere else doing something else, right? So why this message and why today? Well, because in our business, we are 43 days into our new seminar year. That's 1.5 out of 12 months already gone. And this is the time of year where discouragement can come in and whisper little lies to you. Because if you haven't made radical changes in the design of your day, 1/2 hour at a time, and if you haven't upped your people time drastically, the number of people that you're in front of, radically, if you haven't increased that, your mind sped up to the vision and the mental accomplishments and you went all the way out there for the new year, but your clock did not. And so frustration and negative conversation will follow. Has that happened to you? Your mind went out there for where you want to be a year from now. Your mind went out there for the goal that you want to accomplish, but you didn't get in front of more people and you didn't change anything in your schedule. And so therefore the negative whisper starts to come in and say, maybe not right now. Maybe later, maybe next month. And so when that frustration and negative conversation starts to follow, add in that you may not have included enough accountability or adequate accountability with another person. You're left wide open for not only failure, but backsliding. So because along with pursuing a new goal or a new promotion or a new accomplishment or an acquisition, the belief that you can do this has to be your constant companion. So if all that changed was a short-term level of motivation, the realities of this season of August will trump that fast because it all boils down to our choices of today. Time invested in one area is time away from another. Time invested in one area is time away from another. But Pam, who takes the kids to school? Who cooks? Who grocery shops? Who picks up the school supply list? Who sits in the bleachers? My freezer broke this week. I had a car accident. I had to get an estimate. I had to deal with insurance companies, and the list could go on and on and on. Did that happen to anybody? Or something different or something worse? I know. And I want you to know that I understand. I also want you to hear me carefully. There are two categories in our day that we must place every action, every activity and investment with our time in. There are two of them. One of them is urgent. It's coming at me. So somebody has to respond. The doorbell is ringing. The mailman is coming. The dishwasher, the dryer, the homework, the bills to be paid. My text is blowing up. Many of us can fill our days being on call to urgent. Urgent screams at us. We react. People who react have little time to initiate, and therefore they don't create. If you're initiating, if you are reacting, you are not initiating. If you are reacting, you are not creating. So people who do not create do not set or accomplish goals. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, does this make sense to you? Why is that? Well, there's no room for it in their lives. There's no room for creating in their lives. There's no room for initiating in their lives because you're reacting to everything around you. So there are two categories of places that we're going to put everything that we do in our day in. All right? The first one is urgent. You know what the second one is, right? It's important. Urgent screams at you. Important whispers. It says, create a budget and a debt reduction and savings plan and stick to it. It says, have a date night weekly with your spouse without the children being along. It says, sit quietly each morning to praise and pause, study or worship. Pray and meditate. It says, get some exercise. Important says, it whispers, plan healthy meals. Make 20 phone calls. Important says, get your goal poster together. Design your day on that yellow sticky pad and set your smartphone for every 30 minutes and stick to it. Important says, hire delegated help. Give the kids more age-appropriate chores to contribute. The urgent will trump the important for those of you who are unwilling to acknowledge that this is happening. Ready? Back to, you can't change what you won't acknowledge. So now you agree that time invested in one area is time away from another. Yesterday, I caught a quote posted from Offspring, NSD, Leah Laughlin on Boxer. And this quote came from Robin Sharma. And he says, the hours that ordinary people waste are the same hours that extraordinary people leverage because they have a gorgeous respect for time. I don't know about you, but I want to have a gorgeous respect for time. Do you want to have a gorgeous respect for time? So I have a couple questions to ask you. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your respect for time? Let me ask it a more honest way. What is your respect for time today? Many people have a lot of respect for tomorrow, and many people have appreciation for their life and their health today, but a lot of belief in what can get accomplished later. Only a few people have a gorgeous respect for today. This hour, this minute, this daylight, today. Yesterday I posted about this, and the one thing I shared is that I find myself saying recently is that the older you get, the stakes are higher. The older you get, the stakes are higher. And what I mean by this is there are fewer days for you to check things off your bucket list. The older you get, no matter what, even if you have a long time to live, the older you get, the longer your bucket list. Okay, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a lot of 4s and 6s. I think I saw 110. I see a 6. Wow, eye-opening. I see a 5. You know what? I'm going to help you get it to a 10. Don't leave me yet. Keep those hearts coming because I'm gonna take you there. Okay. And so what I mean by this is that the older you get, the stakes are higher because no matter how long you live, clearly the years are shorter no matter how long that is. And so you start making decisions from a different perspective as you age and mature because you realize that, no matter what, the years are fewer. Tomorrow is a real day, God willing, but it's not an elusive day for procrastination. And the older you get, the more you start to see that. So for those of you who are younger, The younger and earlier you respect this truth and the value of each day, the more success you'll accumulate and the bigger the difference you can make. And you can recover many things and you can make a difference in many things, because the things you can recover: a relationship that goes bad, a health situation, financial ruin, a bad choice or mistake. You can recover all of those things. Now, it may take a lot out of you. It may take counsel. It may take time. It may take attention. It will take all of that. It will take effort and work, but you can recover those things. You know what you can't recover? Today. You can't recover it. You lose it. You waste it. It's gone. You will not recover it. So when the sun rises and the sun sets, the day is gone forever. Here's the key part of this lesson. What is the one thing you want so badly in your life right now? What is the one thing you want more in your life than any other thing right now? What is the one goal, the one thing? Is it a position you feel called to? Is it a desire for increase and or different or more? What is that going to take? Would you say that your behavior agrees that this is the one thing you want the most right now? Do you feel torn, or are there competing efforts for your time and attention? Do you still want this as the most number one thing in your life? That number one goal, is it clear for you right now? All those things you wrote before, your Star Recruiter jacket, your Cadillac, that $15,000. Is this the thing you want the most right now? Is that clear right now? Is your number one goal clear right now? Are you crystal clear about what it is? So let me relieve a little bit of guilt for you, the thing that you want most. If your goal right now is to take a promotion or to earn more or to earn something that's important to you, that doesn't make your family unimportant. Okay? If you want something right now that's a calling, you feel it deep inside of you and it's what you want, and it's what you want the most right now, that doesn't make your family unimportant. Balance does not mean equal. There are seasons of sacrifice, and sacrifice is different from compromise. When you sacrifice appropriately, you come to trust this process and you know it's true. So I know your head is spinning about the things that you're reacting to in the realm of urgent, right? Let me give you a very personal example. When I built my business, of course, my late husband, Jerry, worked with me tirelessly to build our national area. And Thomas was young. So 15 years ago, he would have been 6 when I became the national sales director. He is 21. So, as I shared from the stage this year in terms of finding your why, one of the things I shared is that after Jerry died and he was 40 years old and the love of my life, I was, of course, grief-stricken and had a lot of work to do in the realm of grief. And then as a single parent, Thomas was 12, pre-puberty. It was crazy season for him to be without his dad and for me to be without Jerry. So without overindulging in that piece of the story, what I want to say to you is that Thomas had a challenging journey maneuvering those teenage years. And one of the things that ended up being a part of his story is 90 days in residential rehab and recovery. If I had not invested the time that I had invested into my Mary Kay business to become a national sales director, I would not have been in a position to write a $36,000 check for the most amazing residential recovery that existed for young men at the time that he went. So when I was building my business, it did not put him second. I was putting him first then. It's just that other people looking on might have been critical of me as a mother. The reality is God knew what was down the road. So the impression that he had given me on my heart of the urgency of building a national area and becoming a national sales director, I honored that urgency. I did not know that my young triathletic, he was 7 years younger than me. I did not know that my young, beautiful, gorgeous, athletically superior husband would have Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, and die at age 40. I did not know that my precious cherub of a son raised in a godly home with great family and support would struggle with substance and alcoholism. But I was financially prepared when the season of life asked me to write that check. So what I want to say to you is the goal of your heart today, the desire of your heart, it does not compete with the effectiveness as a mother And do not let guilt keep you from pursuing what God is calling you to do. So the bottom question is, how do you know how to prioritize? The question is this. You've heard it before, but you're going to hear it again. Is what I'm about to do lining up with my spoken and written goal? Is what I'm about to do right now lining up with my spoken and written goal? The number one thing I want more than anything, that goal that I want more than anything, is what I'm about to do right now going to advance that goal? If yes, then you are investing time in the right area. If no, you are not honoring that goal. If yes, you are. Simple. The only question to answer is yes or no. Is what I'm about to do taking me in the direction of my goal? So the only question is, if you say, no, it's not. What I'm about to do right now with the dishes, it's not taking me towards my goal. What I'm about to do in terms of errands, it's not taking me towards my goal. The only question I have to ask you is, then once you've answered it honestly and acknowledged it, will you stop and redirect so that the value of today is completely honored? So here's your assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment. I'm not winding up completely, but I'm winding towards. So just know where we are in our time. You must schedule an appointment with yourself within the next 24 hours for a 1 to 2 hour uninterrupted coffee strategy. Just you, your date book, a piece of paper or your design book, sitting still, sitting quiet, no interruptions, turn your phone off. Will you do that? That's the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, is to set an appointment with yourself. Thomas was calling. He's working today. He's pressure washing for earnings. So set an appointment with yourself. Make this happen. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I see you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Good. Okay, that can't happen. No. My son can't attempt to call me right now. Okay, so number one, when you're alone with yourself, I'm going to give you 6 things to do, I think. I think it's 6. It's 7. It's 7 things. I'm going to give you 7 things to do. I want you to write them down. Number 1, make a list of all the tasks and chores and things you've done this week and that you have on your to-do list for the rest of the week. Make a list of everything that you've done. Go back to Sunday. Make a list of absolutely everything that you have done, every task, every errand, everything that you have done this week, and put it on your list. And whatever you have to do the rest of this week, make a list of absolutely everything you have done and that you have to do. Everything. I mean everything. That's number 1. Number 2, go back through the list and put asterisks on any and all that someone else could do. You don't have to know who's going to do it. You don't have to have an idea of who's going to do it. You don't have to have it delegated out yet. Just if somebody else could do it, put an asterisk by it. So this massive list, you're not going to believe your list. When you make your list, you're going to go, I'm doing all of this. Oh my gosh, no wonder I'm tired. Make your list and be honest. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. Write down everything. And then number 2, put an asterisk by everything that somebody else could do. Number 3, while you're alone, make a list of people who come to mind who could do these for you. Somebody's going to come to mind, you guys. Somebody will come to mind. Make a list of the people who come to mind who could do these for you. Do not exclude your family members. Do not exclude the 12-year-old neighbor. Do not exclude the 80-year-old woman at church who needs purpose in her life. Do not exclude anything that comes to your mind. God will give you what you need when you need it. You've just got to listen, write it down, and take action. Okay? So number 3, make a list of the people who come to mind who could do this for you. Don't exclude anybody. Number 4, set an appointment on your calendar to make a decision about each of these this week to take action and resolve. Now, if you put it on a to-do list, call somebody, get somebody to do the dishes, get somebody to do the laundry, get somebody to run errands, get somebody trade off with another parent on school to or from. You've got your whole list. But unless you set an exact time on your calendar, tomorrow between 2 and 3, I'm going to make a decision about where to delegate this. It can't just be on your list. It's got to be on your calendar at a specific time. When are you going to make a decision about this? Okay. Then number 5, make a list of all the action steps that you have not done towards your goal because you were distracted by these busy tasks. Reaffirm your August goal. What is it? What's your August goal? What's your September 15th goal? What is your 90-day benchmark goal, November 12th? So look at those goals again, and then look at the action steps that you need to take to make this goal a reality that all these other tasks have been competing for your time for. You couldn't possibly make this goal a reality because your time is over here on all of these other tasks. So now that you've gotten these other tasks that you're going to delegate or give away or dump for now, it's either do it, delegate it, or dump it. Those are the only 3 things you've got. Some things can get dumped. Do it, delegate it, or dump it. So once you have taken that piece and start making a new list on your focus folder of the action steps you need to take to create the new momentum and the fresh business for your goal, look at that benchmark victory and then look to see if your action steps match this 90-day accomplishment goal. Because you already printed on here, you already told me what your 90-day goal is, right? So now I'm telling you in this number 5 to make a list of all the action steps that will make that a reality. Maybe you want to bounce it off, one of your leaders or mentors to see if they agree that the action steps are lined up with where you want to be November 12th. Number 6, make an appointment with yourself to do these action steps. Make 20 calls, book 10 parties, confirm 3 face interviews, whatever it is. Dreaming big is foundational. Dream big. That was my very first area branding logo. Dream big. It's the Lord's desire for you to dream big in everything you say and do. You'll see your greatest dreams come true. The God of heaven is dreaming big for you. Dreaming big is essential. But scheduling your to-do list in a time slot is the doing of your dreaming. You can dream big, but you also have to schedule the specific doing so that the dream has feet to it. The dream has action steps. Lastly, number 7, while you're in this self-strategy session, because we're still in that 2-hour self-strategy session without being interrupted, be intentional about the design of your life. Who is the person or persons with whom you will be accountable? Because you have to learn new patterns. And whether that is for an athlete who takes their sport to a new level, or an addict transitioning out of rehab, or someone who's post-surgery who has to have extensive physical therapy, you have to learn new patterns for new results from a new mental and physical perspective. So these 7 steps, if you need to rehear them again, hopefully you'll have time to play this back. But those 7 steps while you're in your first 2 hours alone. And then one tip before I depart. Successful people have patterns that are similar day to day to day. If you followed me around day to day to day, you would see some very similar patterns in the way I live my day. The last hour of my day and the first 2 hours of my day are very, very similar. Okay, so the last hour of my day, the end of my day, I'm setting up tomorrow in my design book, my 6 most important things to do, my 1/2 hour at a time scheduled. See, I take what's on that 6 most important things to do list, and then I give it a time slot on that little yellow sticky pad. I make an appointment with myself. I don't just put it on a list. I put it in a time slot. So that's what I'm doing the last hour of my day, transferring what didn't get done today to tomorrow, reprioritizing it. What is the one thing that's going to give me the biggest bang for my buck, that's going to take me closer to my goal? What is the biggest thing I can do right now that will take me closer to my goal? That's the priority of what I do first. And then having that written down and ready so that when my power hour rolls around tomorrow, I don't have to shuffle papers. I don't have to make new lists. It's already there. Bam! I already know what time it is, and I know what I'm going to do first. I know what I'm doing, and the urgent does not lure me away. Y'all, if you came to my door right now and rang the doorbell, my son has called twice while I'm making this. I did not pick up on him. Why? Well, I'm sure he's fine. And if he's not, I'm sure he's fine. That's the reality of it. I know he's fine because I know where he is and I know what he's doing. And so I didn't pick up on that call. Why? Because I'm all in for you right now. I did not let the urgent of that call take me away from this call. I didn't end it. If my doorbell rang right now, I would not go get it. You'd hear it ring and ring and ring. I would not go answer it. Why? Because I'm here right now. And I made a decision and a commitment to be here right now. So the urgent is not going to lure me away. Why? Because you're important. You are important. You are important. You are the most important thing to me right now. And that's what I'm going to do. So the last hour, I set my coffee pot for tomorrow. I preset my supplements and my oat and chia that I'm going to have for breakfast. And then I crate the dog and I turn the lights off and I set the house alarm. And then when I wake up, there's a pattern and a structure to the morning. The first 2 hours are pretty similar in design every single morning. They aren't reactionary. I have designed them. They are intentional. Successful people have the last hour of their day and the first 2 hours of their day very structured so that you've given yourself a time slot for everything else that's in between it. So to wrap it up, number 1, you can change your life in 90 days. Number 2, you can't change what you won't acknowledge. And number 3, time invested in one area is time away from another. Will you take action on these concepts and truths and suggestions to strengthen the way you're prioritizing your time? We will do more on the Designing Your Life goal setting, and I'll share more with you on these and the other principles of Design Your Life. I hope that you feel that you got something beneficial and worthwhile for the time that you invested with me today. God bless you. I can't wait to watch it back, to read your comments with my glasses on, because the reality is, now I can really see a whole lot better. But it's just the glare was distracting me. But when I go back and read them through, I will be praying for your name and your goal and everything that you wrote on here. So until next time, I'll see you. God bless you and bring you favor in all that you do. May He bring you clarity as you sit down and continue to decide the goals that He's placed on your heart. May you have the courage to make the sacrifices and the delegation that is going to be required for you to go the extra mile and the distance. And may you have the tenacity and perseverance to see it all the way through. That He will bring you favor and that He'll multiply every effort that you have. And that He'll bring you love and grace and peace along the way. Godspeed in your day. Have a great afternoon, a fantastic week. I'll see you the next time on the next topic. Bye.